Guys, I think first of all, we want to talk to you about the man as a chaplain, not only in his family, but in his community, a man and a chaplain, as a chaplain among his friends and neighbors and so forth. Tony is a prime example of a man as a chaplain. Not only is he a man of faith and a man of incredible leadership, but he's also been a pastor. But more than that, he's lived his faith in a very courageous kind of way. So, Tony, what do you want to say right now to these guys about a man being the chaplain?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, as we're up here deer hunting, and we do this once a year, we get. In fact, my dad comes, my son, your brother, and Ken Blackwell, and a number of our friends come, and we just, we spend 4 or 5 days. We hunt deer, we tell stories, we sit around a campfire, we do things that men identify with as manly things. Unfortunately, too many men, I think, General, don't understand that truly being a chaplain of your family, the priest that the Lord's called us to do, they see that as somehow being weak and not manly, when in fact, it is the essence of manhood, especially today when we see the culture moving the direction that's going. See, I think as men, as fathers, you've raised children, your children are grown, mine are almost there. We've got to do battle for our children as the priest. That means interceding for them. And one thing about the priest, as you'll recall the Old Testament, where in the temple, the altar and the incense, this was always going. It was 24/7. The fire had to be continually burning. And I think and the priests were responsible. I think we're responsible to ensure that the spiritual flame is ablaze in our home. And it begins with us. And in order to deal with the situations, we can't wait until those situations are there to then seek the Lord. We got to be seeking the Lord day in and day out, interceding, praying for our children. And here's one of the things that I learned. It's a big takeaway, guys, is that generationally, there are things that come down from your family. Maybe your father, your grandfather. They did some things, and they never really broke that off. Pornography is one of these issues. Sexual immorality. These things are generational. And you've got to take responsibility to stop that and plead the blood of Jesus over your lineage going forward, that your children will not experience that. You're going to stand and do battle for your children. I mean, that is the essence, to me, of manhood.
You said something very important when you talked about the notion that being a chaplain was a weakness or a sign of weakness, and there's nothing could be further from the truth. Look, Tony, I think that one of the boldest things a man can do is stand up and openly talk about his faith and live his faith and follow the path that God has laid out for him. That takes a lot of courage. And I got to tell you, within the church today, I'm seeing an awful lot of men that are just being told, look, just go worship, but keep your faith to yourself. That is not what God called us to do. I don't advocate that the man stand on the street corner and yell at everybody, you're going to hell.
No, but we've somehow thought that, well, church stuff, that's women's work. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, women have filled the gap because the men haven't been the spiritual leaders. And so men, it is time for you to be the priest, the chaplain of your home, spiritually guiding the hearts and minds of your children, and doing battle for your family, your wife and your children, and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and however many generations may come if the Lord tarries.
Absolutely. And guys, read more about the chaplain in the book Man to Man. This is a very important role that a man has to play, and this man plays it very, very well. We all should. Thanks for being with us, and stand by. There's more to come.